And we are live. Welcome, everybody. It is another episode of Wait. Did I roll a wild? Your Marvel Crisis Protocol Plavog. We have kind of another huge episode this week. I'm here. My name's Tim. I'll be your host with the guy sitting in that chair over there. It's Dan.
Hi.
It's been a hot minute, actually, Dan, since you've been here. Not a hot minute.
Was
but
on last week.
Were you? Listen, it's been
Brian.
There's a lot going on. I forgot about that.
It was only a week ago.
Listen, I remembered Brian was here, though, oddly enough.
It's been a hell of a week, I'll say that.
We have another very, very, very special guest, as this week we are joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the tournament champion of Adepticon. It is Mr. NateGG from the Gamers Guild. Nate, hello.
Hello, how are you guys, man?
Good. I am well. So, first off, what have you been up to since we last saw you at the old Schwamberg Convention Center?
Oh man, a lot, because in some ways it feels like that was like maybe 2 weeks ago, but it's really been like 3.5 months. So yeah, no, just plenty going on with life. Let's see. I got to go to Gatlinburg and Dollywood and all that kind of stuff with my wife's family. Had a week up there that was a lot of fun. But right now there's a lot of prep for a convention that I'm helping host, and also a lot of excitement for getting to go to Gen Con is kind of like on the radar.
Gen Con is really just one of those ones that's just kind of on its own level, right?
Mountaintop.
Yeah. Like there's kind of a handful of conventions like Adepticon and Gen Con that are just like next level.
Yeah.
Nashcon, though, happens to be way up there for me as well. I'll be going this year, and I am very, 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 very excited to. So tell me a little bit about Nashcon, what you guys are working on right now, and some of the stuff to look forward to with Nashcon itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nashcon is really a relatively small convention in Nashville, which is where I happen to be pretty closely located to, and putting on, I think, what will end up being the largest, at least U.S.-based MCP tournament come August, which is really exciting and stuff. So I have been working on tables and terrain and getting all that kind of stuff set up. Prize support, because we've got some plaques that we're getting engraved and stuff for first through third, as well as just a bunch of participation prizes, which I think I really like that vision that AMG has set for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and kind of enjoy maintaining that image of like, hey, like, it doesn't matter if you come here to like win and dominate, like, as long as you come, have fun, roll some dice, you still get the cool swag.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And it really makes it where, I don't know, it's just a significantly nicer feeling, especially if you're traveling a long distance across time zones, potentially across countries, to be able to know that you're walking away with something, that there's something there for you every single time, not necessarily for participation, but just that you were part of that event. You know what I mean? Like, you walked away with part of that experience like everyone else did.
Yeah, for sure.
So how many people are we looking at? Like, how many tables? I've seen that you've recently kind of expanded that out. Like, it is almost constantly
a little
growing.
bit. Yeah, so this year we started out with 64 spots, which meant 32 tables, which is plenty. And then basically after selling out through that in 5 hours, which is awesome, huge shout out really just to the Marvel Crisis Protocol community for
real.
This like really small, usually like historically based miniatures convention. Kind of gets overwhelmed with Marvel players, which I'm sure they all hate, and it just makes me chuckle.
Listen, Marvel had a Civil War too. It's all the same.
Yeah,
it's all gravy.
Wars. Secret
Absolutely.
ones.
Yeah, they even had a second Civil War.
It just goes on for infinity. But they basically, they didn't really give us a place to send people for a wait list or anything like that. And because communication has been unfortunately a little bit just poor between the Nashcon board and me and Gronko/Grant, who were hosting it, we basically just ended up directing people to their contact us form. And I think they got flooded with a bunch of people saying like, "Hey, I want to sign up for the Marvel Crisis Protocol event," which is not what that form is designed for, but it's where we sent them. And they gave us 20 more spots, so it worked.
I love that. Sometimes they just
Hey,
need to know that people want to play some MCP.
that's what the
Yeah,
people want.
absolutely.
All right.
I
So
want
I
my
think,
MCP.
yeah. But we've sold through 15 of those even, so we're on track for a pretty sizable tournament.
So math isn't my strong suit, but that sounds like there's only 5 single tickets left for that event.
As of right now, yeah, there are 5 lonely tickets left.
And
I kind of
where
want one.
now they can go if people wanted to sign up for that right now and grab one of those, they would go to nashcon.org, right? That would be the place.
That sounds correct.
All right, I'm gonna post
I'm
that
not
link
100% sure,
right in
but
the
yeah,
chat
they're
now.
Close
honestly,
enough.
if you just like if you're just doing the Google search, do NashCon, find the events, scroll down. There's one that says Marvel on it, and it should be $40, but it is $40 that gets you like into the convention and also into the event.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So there's no like need for a general admission ticket or anything like that.
So I really like that when a convention does it. So it gets you into there for the whole weekend, right? And it's
Hmm.
Friday through Sunday, correct?
Yes.
Um, I mean that's a lot of convention tickets are like a day or a event, and this is both, which is kind of makes
Like
it
putting
makes it
together.
obtainable.
Yeah, makes it
Yeah, for
easier for
sure.
the casual person.
So
Yeah.
right. So as far as like because you're in the area or the general vicinity, your local scene, your local players, are they all like is that a ride or die? Like they have to be there at NashCon, or what's the temperature
We've
reading
got
there?
well, last year we had 2 represented from the Nashville scene. But I think this year we've got like a good 10 to 15 showing up from Middle Tennessee, which is
Yeah.
a vast
Nice.
improvement, which is really cool, and I'm excited to see just more local people there and rolling dice.
Well, I mean, and that's a great path too. You know what I mean? Like you keep that up, and
Mhm.
it won't be long until all of Tennessee is coming to NashCon.
I mean, that's the hope.
Hmm.
This is a nice thing to see about this game in general. Is I feel like the player base is
Yeah.
skyrocketing in the last few months,
Hmm.
especially. The
Yeah.
Facebook groups I
It
see new
started to see
people all the
cons, right?
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, in part again pointing toward you guys a little bit. Like you guys are making this accessible to people. Like, oh, Adepticon's going on. What are the streams? Oh, there's a Marvel Crisis Protocol stream. That looks fun.
I
So
appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely. You guys did great.
Listen, we don't know how to play the game correctly, but we can sure talk like we
we
do.
did some things right.
Absolutely.
So in the local scene, especially now that you have a pretty decent amount of people from the local scene headed to NashCon, are there any rumblings of about what people are bringing? Is there has Brotherhood finally fallen off the peak of what everyone's doing in Black Order? Are we
Saw
seeing
a
some
lot of
Shadowlands
Brotherhood.
Daredevil or like what's the hubbub?
You know what? I think I would have had at least like a half decent guess 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
Very
But then
fair.
AMG were just kind of like, hey, here's this bomb we're gonna set off about what a month and a half before NashCon happens. So have fun with the meta.
so is it fair to assume that Nashcon is going to follow the Challenger standard timeline?
Yeah, we actually just recently sent out an update to everybody coming. I had to go in and rewrite the players packet because originally I thought like, okay, cool, standard. We'll have a standard timeline event because like we're going to get the rules for that by NashCon, and we'll just do like a little 3 round tournament on Friday, see what it's about, get feedback from people. But because AMG also just completely wiped off the face of the earth the old banned and restricted list, I didn't really feel like extended was a format that people would want to play 5 rounds into a top cut.
Probably fair. Though there's a lot of drop off cards that have just been collecting dust that people are just waiting to sweep off. And some
I know
hired
they
muscle,
want to get that hired muscle with the panic grips and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all the nasty things that we don't want to play with.
Now, I know from the players packet that there's kind of a couple different events that are going to be running over the weekend. Do you want to give us kind of a brief, like 3,000 foot overview of what's going to be happening on each different day. Sorry, yeah, I don't know why 3,000 feet was the number I chose,
I
but
can't see anything.
that's what we're going with.
It's like what, like almost a mile high up there.
Yeah, yeah,
There you
from
go.
a plane's eye view, I think is what someone
We'll be
said
playing
once.
Marvel Crisis Protocol. That's about all you can see from that high. If you get a little bit closer, though, you'll see that on Friday, right now it's mostly just kind of an open play. We'll probably get to some like 3 or 8 man pods going if they want to participate in different events. If they want to try like a draft beforehand, then bring the models for that draft. We can coordinate that. And honestly, just we're also going to have access to a lot of the organized play kits. I've
What
kind
I
of
ask about.
gone out of my way to accumulate extras as they have come out. And we'll have like a library system where you can go and check out a separation anxiety or a vibranium
Yes.
heist, all that kind of stuff. We have them marked in a little organizer so you can come over, be like, hey, we want to play this. Cool. Give me your license or some sort of collateral, and
Give me the keys to your car, at least most of your wallet, and listen, you can play Separation Anxiety. And
you know
honestly,
what?
it's
You
usually
just
worth
keep
it.
it. You
Yeah,
keep it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Give me your left shoe.
very
All right,
legitimate.
Rocket.
I think I'm gonna get that leg. Um, Very legitimately, I think separation anxiety specifically. I mean, and granted, a lot of the other organized play kits are great icebreakers for that first day. You just get
Mhm.
to the convention. Maybe you know people. Maybe you came alone. But it's really nice to be able to grab a pod with a couple people, play some separation anxiety. You never know what you're gonna get. It's probably gonna be Venom somehow long moving now, but I just really
It's
like it as an icebreaker.
so good. I need
It's
to
such
play
a
that one
fun,
again.
crazy format. Yeah.
They did a bang up job with that one,
Yeah,
especially just the 4-player aspect of it is mint.
100%.
Mhm.
So what about Saturday?
Saturday is the main event, as you would usually call it, where we will be starting at 9 o'clock in the morning and going for 5 rounds of the now standard timeline Challenger event style Marvel Crisis Protocol.
All right, and will that have like a cut that goes into day two as well, or into Sunday?
Yep. So then we'll have, after the 5 rounds are over, we'll take the top 8 players and they will be in a cut the following day where they'll play it out for the top 3 spots. Then additionally, on day 3, we are going to be doing a 3-box challenge event. And I've
Oh,
got some custom crisis cards made for that to give some extra like point variety and stuff. Because I think the one thing that's kind of slacking for a 3-box challenge is point variety and crisis variety. Because you
Yeah.
really just have the core set ones. So this is just some stuff to throw some extra spice in there. But I think hopefully people will be able to just relax and have fun with that as a send off.
I really like that too. I think that Sunday or that final day is kind of really nice too, especially if you're not in, the top eight or whatever that it gets cut
Hmm.
down to just be able to have fun, do some kind of wild or wacky stuff. Adepticon had the affiliation battle, and just yeah, give people a chance to play, kind of cool off, have a good end to the convention, and yeah,
Yeah, and I think it's also really important just to have some sort of organized play for that day after. So, because like you obviously you're hoping you make that top 8, and so that the rest of your day is going to be busy with that. But in case it's not, something there for everybody is I think something really nice.
yeah, absolutely. Now, with that, those changes to the standard and extended, have you noticed anything in your local community that has kind of shifted pretty drastically? Are people receptive to it? Are they a little angsty about it? What's been the overall reaction to Challenger?
Yeah, so here locally there hasn't really been any like grumbling about it or anything. It was basically just everybody like took to it and were like, "Cool. How the crap am
Nice.
I going to build a list now? Because all the tactic cards I used to use is like the filler spots are poof."
Yeah.
hmm
We had similar reactions on the Discord and locally as well, where for the most part, people are like, you know what? I'm really happy to see, Dan very specifically, was I'm very happy to see Bitter Rivals gone. Like,
For
um,
now.
or
Well,
field
I'm
dressing
not.
and things like that. I mean, I'm really excited to actually play some new stuff in there and not feel like I have to take certain cards. Not that I
Mhm.
ever really necessarily felt like I had to. But we've had a couple people in the Discord that were a little grumbly about it at first, and they're like, actually, you know what? There's a lot of other tactics cards that are super fun that I should have been using this whole time, and this kind of gives them an opportunity to feel like they can actually play those other cool
Mhm.
things.
Instead of feeling like I love what AMG's doing here to keep people out of those pigeonholes where you don't have those same 3 cards every time.
Yes.
You change out a couple based on what characters you included in your squad that are like character or affiliation specific. Now it's really like, okay, I really have 5 slots opened up here
Yeah.
to be kind of
Mhm.
whatever.
Do you have any sleepers that you had maybe disregarded before that have kind of crept up into the rosters that you're building?
It's one that I used to not take in every roster, but with the changes, it is now much more prevalent, and that is mission objective.
Mm.
It's just one of the ones that's really good. I think very splashable, because a lot of those cards that used to be the very good splashable just weren't on the restricted list. Disarm is one that I've been advocating for since almost day one, and I hate to see it go on the restricted list because I love it so much. But so yeah, kind of mission objective is one that I've latched on to a little bit. I've heard rumblings of recalibration matrix being really good again,
Yeah.
kind of coming to help because one of the big things is one of the biggest things that kind of stopped dice spikes from hurting the game so much, in my opinion, was field dressing because like a dice spike happens, that's okay. That character, like he gets a second chance basically. He's only on 1 life, but he gets a second chance. He still gets to activation. And so recalibration matrix, I think, can easily kind of slot into that spot as the card that is going to help some of that dice variance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mission objective one is one that I really like as well. It was one that I overlooked because it had a lot of words on it, and
Yeah,
I'm
yep.
intimidated by words. So, but after thinking about it for a while, I was like, yo, like legacy virus or something like that, being able to mission objective, like almost like taunt your opponent to
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, daze them, do it, see what happens.
I feel like that's one I just recently discovered, I think, from ACO, where it was like,
Yeah.
oh, people are taking this card. Oh, that's what it does? How did I miss this? This
Yeah.
is so good. And like I was just recently taking it.
Yeah, for real. Well, and
Claiming gear, too,
yes,
which is now,
now climbing gear was restricted or
it's on the
gone?
Spider-Man
It,
list.
it,
Oh,
it got
gotcha. So, got
it got
the boot.
swept under the rug. Yep.
It got the climbing gear right out of here.
Yeah.
So one thing that we did happen to get this week, as far as updates to standard, is we got a new character card that is going to be coming out with Miss Darkstar. Nate, tell me just first off, first gut impression. What did you think about Darkstar before we get into her her actual card? As far as your basic reaction to the release of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to tell you my first initial gut reaction was wrong because I read the card wrong and I thought she was
Oh.
bonkers.
We are familiar with that.
Yes, we are. Huh.
Especially, remember Dormammu would read it 3 times? Oh, that's how it works.
Or being really mad at Magic, being like, "What do you mean I help my opponent when I roll skulls? Oh, that's not how it works at all."
Yep.
But after I guess a second glance and read over, I think she's cool. I think nothing that's gonna like shake up the entire game or anything crazy like that.
Yeah.
But I think she's got like at least 3 affiliations that would love to have her on board.
She's no Crimson Dynamo, but she seems solid, was my first impression. Like,
Yes.
she was pretty good.
Yeah.
We have a question from chat. Neo asked, "Do you guys think that this is back to some of the cards being restricted and cycled? Do you think the gems now being restricted will make a big difference?" Personally, I think I've already seen it in games with people not taking space on Thanos and maybe going some different routes, especially when you kind of have to choose between, well, reality on Corvus and space on Thanos or Ebony Maw.
Because
Am I-
none of your tactics cards can be restricted.
Yeah, am I
That-
willing to sacrifice brace for impact or
I mean, it's really only going to affect Black Order. Again, I'm sure Black Order players are not too happy about it because they kind of got hit with the first change to gems, and now this, and then like the time gem getting objectively worse.
Yeah.
Because I've been working on building a Black Order list to play on Monday, and I was like, oh well, crap! If I take those 2 gems, I can't take any restricted tactics cards. All right, so it made me rethink. Like, do I really need reality on Corvus? Is that
Yes.
necessary?
The answer is still
Like,
yes.
he's still good without it, but it's like as a restricted card now,
Yeah, I guess
it's
needs
kind
a
of a
strong
big
word.
one. So
No, I think you
yeah,
still want it.
I think he'll still have it probably, but
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
now that Black Order has some, another 3 threat in there to add more variety. So I really want to try a Thanos list Black Order, see how that does.
Yeah. Well, and I think that maybe that's the other important thing too with the reality gem on Corvos specifically.
Mm.
Koros.
Koros is that he's kind of the new Loki leader as well.
Not Loki.
He's not, but he's a
It's not
Loki
Loki.
leader.
Yeah.
No, nobody else is Loki. Loki is Loki.
All right.
If anybody,
listen, I'll give
he's
that
an
to you.
authority on Loki.
Yeah, very much so. I saw his Loki punch out of Thanos once.
Most
It was a good
impressive.
time.
But yeah, shooting back over to Darkstar. Yeah, so I had a similar reaction where I was a little thought she was broken at first, and then brought it back down to reality.
Is it the Dark Force barrier that that we've read wrong? People thought was way too good, or
I believe so. That's what it was for me, but
Okay.
it makes sense because it has the most words.
Uh,
yeah.
I read her Dark Force strike wrong, and I thought it was a reroll any like Captain Marvel's Energy Blast, where you can pick and choose which dice you reroll. Whereas this one is much more like Doctor Strange's, where you have to reroll all of your attack dice.
Oh,
So I'm really glad that you brought that up because I thought it was
I
just
didn't
like Captain
realize.
Marvel's as
Yeah, I
well.
thought I read it the same way, and I was like, "Wow, that's really good.
We
He's
need
got
to
a great
have-
builder."
We need to have guests on more often. We learn so much about how to play this game every single time.
Read the card.
So that's I mean very nice, but the fact that it's a static builder as well,
Yeah.
it's weird. It's like it's important and it's awesome because when you flub, you can just get rid of it. But
Yep.
but still, it's not like you're gonna get more power out of it.
Not quite as good as
Yeah.
what we all originally saw and thought.
Right. Good, but not that good.
Correct. But we will jump into the stats here real quick and kind of go down from top to bottom. So she is a 3 threat, 5 stamina, medium movement, size 2 with 3/3/4 for defenses. I mean, actually, solid defenses for a 3. I think that matches Baron Zemo, right? Who's
Pretty
also
standard.
3/3/4.
They usually have 2 3s and a 4 somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dark Force Strike is her builder. It is a static builder, but it's range 4, strength 5, and energy, gaining only 1 or gaining a power after the attack is resolved, and then the character may re-roll all of the attack dice, as we just found out, thankfully, from Nate, for this attack. So not which ones you want, but whole thing. Eye of Agamottoing it, almost.
Still good.
Yeah.
I mean, strength 5 at range 4 is already great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, I rolled 3 blanks and 2 blocks. Well, I'll just re-roll it all.
Yeah. Well, and we constantly see energy kind of playing a pretty big role. We have a lot of characters now that have pretty massive defenses against both mystic or physical.
Right.
And sometimes being able to use one for the other. So energy is kind of still the one that sneaks in a little bit unless you're fighting She-Hulk. And then you're like, why does she have a 4 defense and energy?
Well,
Of all the
energy is
ones.
the lowest defense across the game right now, right?
What's that?
Energy is the lowest average defense across the game.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of characters out there with 4 physical or like Carnage, and then like there's a lot of like Magnetos and Juggernauts with 5 6 Mystic that throws off that curve. So energy builder is pretty sweet.
And it seems like if they tank one on a regular basis, it's Mystic usually is where we see like those 2s, but it's heavily balanced out by those 5s and 6s on all of those convocation characters and
Yeah,
helmeted
and they kind of then
characters.
offset the physical ones because there's like almost everybody in convocations just rolling 2 physical defense.
Yeah. So Darkstar's Spender is Rending Force. It's listed as a physical, but you can choose between it being physical or energy. Range 2, strength 7 for only 3 power with bleed on a wild. It's not going to blow the doors off, but it's
You're never going to use it anyway.
Good dice. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Probably
you
fair.
shouldn't.
With her superpowers, you're never going to use this attack unless you have no other options.
The acid spit of the winter.
Yes. Other than that, it's worse cold-blooded from Lizard. Because his does bleed in slow. But, like...
But he can't make his energy.
If she needs to do a physical attack, she has the option.
Yeah.
Like, if she's up against a wall and has to make a big attack, she can.
Or if you're loaded up on power and right before you teleport yourself to safety, you punch someone really hard with some dark matter.
Yeah.
Any thoughts,
Maybe.
Nate, on that spender? Are you going to use it ever or only in emergency situations?
Like that is the like maybe 1 out of 80 games does that spender actually see use.
I
That's
like...
when it KOs She-Hulk.
Correct. Yeah, 100%.
Because you use it as physical.
Because you use it as physical.
There you go.
I kind of like it a little bit, almost kind of as that, like, not like an ace in the back of your pocket, but another reason to have your opponent be like, well, I don't want to get that close.
Yeah, the fact that it's also only range 2 hurts. I don't think she wants to get that close if she's got a range 4 builder.
Right, no, I'm saying the opponent is like, well, I don't necessarily want to get that close to Darkstar. If I'm going to get up there, I have to understand that I could get swung back upon.
Right, so she's got that bit of a deterrent.
Yes.
Okay, I like that.
So her first... go for it.
I was about to say I'm a negative Nancy over here. I just don't, because like I want to get close to Darkstar. It's like that's where Baron Zemo, where Valkyrie just goes in and carves her up a little bit. The retaliation isn't anything too concerning. I kind of wish there was just like another status effect, like a shock or something on there. Because like if you look at Shuri, she kind of like you actually are a little bit worried if she gets off her Sonic Crush, because you're guaranteed stunned, and on a wild, she gives you the stagger condition as well.
Yeah.
So just like, I don't know, like throw a wild shock on there or something.
Yeah, for how power hungry Darkstar is, to have to spend that 3 on this, you want a little bit more bang for your buck.
Yeah. Especially when you have to compare it to all of her other powers.
Right. Which are great.
Like one for
Really
one
good.
as far as cost. So speaking of that, first power we have is an active called Dimensional Portal. Costs 3 power. Choose this character or another allied character within range 3 and place it within range 3 of its current position. A character can be placed by this superpower only once per turn. So, really important thing here, like seeing a character can only be placed by this once per turn instead of this being a once per round again thing. Because, that is a very clear power switch.
If she gets stacked with power, she's teleporting people all over the place. Like, she could do that 3 times in a turn, potentially.
Yeah. I mean, not to be compared unfairly against Magic, but still, it's... You have reach in both ways. Where you're putting it and where you're picking it up. Her Dark Force Barrier is her reactive. That is her other superpower for 3 power. When this is the one I read wrong incorrectly. Nope. I just read it incorrectly, not wrong incorrectly. Then I would have figured it out.
I was saying, like, you read it so wrong, you read it wrong and incorrectly at the same time.
When this character or an allied character within range 3 is targeted by a physical or energy attack, this character may use the superpower. Add 2 dice to the defense roll against the attack. This character or the allied character cannot be advanced, pushed, or placed by the effects of that attack. Really like this. I mean, it's a near indomitable, but with a defensive steroid.
With Cable Shield plus Indomitable for 1 more power.
Yep. Just don't work against throws. But then, I mean, then it should cost a lot more.
Yeah. Stopping throws is a lot, because you typically pay a lot for a throw, either a big spender or just a superpower. So, Dark Force Barrier is great.
And this is one of... We haven't seen a whole ton of these effects, but they're normally on significantly higher threaded characters. I believe. It's like Cassandra Nova has something similar, or Jean Grey. So you're normally spending at least 4 or 5 to get that effect on the field, or Cable. So between the two, I think she actually allows some play as a splash that would normally take a significantly heavier commitment.
And I think that's where she likes to be, as a splash.
Yeah.
Like Inhumans, Dark Dimension, A-Force, anything that's giving her more power out of taking damage and her builder.
Yeah.
She's gonna love those affiliations.
Yeah, so I guess when you're not running her on Team Slav, Nate, where are you putting Darkstar?
Absolutely. So, one, I think she's, because how Crimson Dynamo works and how I'm going to assume Ursa and Red Guardian work, I think she is going to really like the Winter Guard with their Iron Curtain leadership. But then the other places I like her are A-Force,
Mhm.
because I think she and She-Hulk are going to just be like best friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh no, like Darkstar's going to take a big attack. We don't want that. She-Hulk takes that. Oh no, She-Hulk got out of position. We don't like that. Darkstar just put her back in place.
Well,
She also has flight for special delivery.
yeah.
So
Yeah. But she would have to be
She's,
A-Force
well,
affiliate.
she'd have to be A-Force. This is
Oh, I
a
forgot that
heroic
was-
version
yeah.
of Darkstar, at least. So, like, fingers crossed. Like, they can't just never give us another A-Force member, right?
Right. Right. I mean,
I don't know if about
It's
A-Force.
been so long.
or maybe like a sub faction of A-Force, like the A+ Force.
She was a
Just
new
all good
mutant
students?
for a while too, so she
The,
could
the
be on
triple
X-Men.
A-Force.
Yeah.
Triple A-Force.
It's the only people that can move other people. And she'd be perfect for it.
Yeah,
It's her and Magic.
and Lockjaw.
And Lockjaw.
You keep forgetting Lockjaw.
Listen,
Alyssa's gonna come in here and she's gonna air horn you for forgetting Lockjaw.
I turned the sounds off for this stream.
She's gonna find a way. She's gonna come in the basement and air horn you in real life.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
gonna be like, "Stop waking up my kid." He's not in bed just yet, but
Right. But yeah, no, I think in A-Force she's great. Like Dan said, a Dark Dimension, just giving her more power. Really, any affiliation that can funnel her stuff is going to be massively beneficial.
Sure.
How do
or
we,
Cabal.
or
Red Skull's Cabal.
yeah,
Her builder gets 2
every
instead of
time,
1.
every time. Yeah, she gets 2 every time.
Just trying to think of any other affiliation that can just give her more power. Steve's Avengers, because anybody's better than Steve's Avengers,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like the first thing that comes to mind anytime we talk about like, well, what other affiliation would this character be good in? It's like, oh, well, Steve's Avengers, obviously. All those powers are cheaper.
Do they have a reactive power? Do they have a normal power? Ah, Steve. Steve likes that.
I think, yeah, works pretty good with Steve.
Best affiliation right out of the gate.
All right, now what tactics cards do we feel like might be accompanied along with her? Just go for some absolute wild speculation here.
What's the one with Miss Marvel on it that makes things cheaper?
I have no idea.
You
No
know what I'm
matter the
talking
cost.
about. Yeah, is that it? No matter the cost, or she can
Yeah,
take
you can
damage.
take
to-
damage
Oh.
instead of spending power.
Yeah,
I was thinking
I don't
Miss
know,
Marvel.
make her spender less.
Yeah. Or maybe some granted would be very hard to do. She makes constructs, right? Put some terrain back on the field or like a magnetic construct or something on there. We know there's not terrain in the box, but I want it still.
Oh, well, you saying like what kind of tactics cards she gonna come with?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like what
Okay.
tactics cards do you want to
Yeah,
use
this was-
with her?
Oh no,
This
I'm
is
sorry.
not the.
This is not. Listen.
I was
I'm-
thinking like, oh man, this is advanced R&D. I don't.
Oh, so wild speculation of a tactics card we could get with her.
Yeah, not wild speculation of what tactics cards we could use with her. We don't need wild speculation for that.
All right, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about Darkstar other than Phantom X.
Yeah, Phantom X certainly got her.
Yep.
So maybe that. Oh my gosh! What?
What?
So, okay.
Got really excited there.
I did,
I
I
can't
did.
wait to see it.
So maybe she has a tactics card, right?
Okay.
That's all about
Okay.
keeping her alive or something along those lines. Maybe there will be like a like an Odin's blessings for the Slav force, and it will keep her alive or at 1. Or if she takes a bunch of or anyone on the Winter Guard, they'll keep them alive at 1. But the art on the tactics card will have Phantom X sneaking up on Darkstar. And then we can get
Blast
Phantom
it.
X on something, and then I'll just lose my mind and be very happy.
Yeah, I'd love to see Phantom X. I could see some kind, like you said, some kind of construct building, like a web barrier type thing.
Yes, actually, that would probably be a significantly more easy way to do it
Instead of
outside of
making
like
terrain
making metal constructs. Yeah,
that we know aren't in the box.
that we are. Yeah, yep.
It is wild speculation, so yeah, something like web barrier to represent. But she already has the dark force barrier, so
Yeah. What are you thinking, Nate?
I don't know. I feel like she probably has some sort of like dark aura manifestation or something that she could do.
Maybe they cycled out bitter rivals because they'll give it to her as a. She just puts a bunch of
I mean,
dark
hey,
matter
Mysterio
out there.
got one. Why not her?
Right, right. I like that. Or something to yoink power from people.
her grand illusion.
Yes.
Her
What else
grand
does the
illusion.
dark force do besides blasty blast people?
Oh, everything. She's got like a doppelganger on the other plane as well that she can like trade places with and stuff.
Oh, so she got a card for that for sure.
Yeah.
She's got a doppelganger card.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it like gives her stealth or lets her.
She's the double donger.
She's the double donger. All right.
Yeah, check out our Patreon to see what we're talking about there.
I really like doppelgangers, but can't use the term doppelganger, so sometimes you just need to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, she definitely has some
Fair
kind
enough.
of doppelganger card. Maybe it's works similar to Nick Fury's life model decoys.
Oh.
Maybe not with tokens for it, but something to like a defensive effect where it's like, oh, you hit my doppelganger instead. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Like substitution
cool.
in Pokemon.
I actually dig that quite a bit. Or like a trickster almost. You know,
Yeah.
like you get targeted and oh, actually I'm over here. That was my Darkstar duplicate.
But it like wears her out, so she only does it once because it's a card.
Yeah.
To like kind of justify that.
But it comes back every turn that she's still on the Winter Guard.
Kind of Magneto-esque.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. What does it do? Oh, you play it and your opponent rolls when you get targeted.
Mhm.
Your opponent rolls like 2 fewer attack dice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it should be after you get hit. Because it was like, oh, it was my doppelganger all along.
I have a feeling that all of our wild speculation cards are just going to turn into, well, this card got cycled out, so really she just has field dressing, but only she can use it.
And suddenly we see her everywhere.
Right?
Winter Guard has field dressing, but it's a St. Bernard with the barrel.
Yes! Oh, and it gives you stagger too when you get rest.
No, just stun.
Just stun.
Stagger's too bad.
Yeah, fair. Fair.
Or it gets you up, but only for the rest of that round. And then you get back down.
I kind of
'Cause you...
dig that a little bit, honestly. Like last
down
action
for it.
hero-y, yeah.
I could see something that does a lot of slow around because it's like cold.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like you slip on the ice.
Oh, it does like Sub-Zero's ice puddle.
Yeah.
Someone
don't-
just slides and they
They get pushed somewhere.
medium in a random direction.
Oh man, I wonder how they're going to do that when he comes out.
Oh, Sub-Zero?
I was thinking Iceman, but sure,
Yeah!
Sub-Zero too.
Never heard of him.
Careful, you say Iceman and the chat gets fired up about how we're never going to get them because
I
they're
mean,
mean.
I mean, we'll get him about the time we get Nightcrawler, right?
I
so
said for a while I'd be fine with the Iceman Nightcrawler box. I'd be like done with my wish list practically.
yeah.
Other than the Spider-Man villains.
I need well, Agent Venom for one thing,
Right.
but
Yeah.
Psylocke is an X-Men I would love to see.
Super cool.
Yeah. Very much so.
I'm sure if we got Winter Guard, we're gonna get Thunderbolts, so we'll get Agent Venom. And he
I
can
mean,
be on
we've already
Shield,
got
too.
like everybody except Red Hulk, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, depending on the team. I mean, we have Baron Zemo. We have the other members of the Thunderbolts.
I was
like
thinking
glitched.
I
this
did.
other.
Like, I was like going through my head of like, well, am I going to talk about the team with Ghost and Yelena or the team with Agent Venom and Ghost Rider? Oh,
What
but-
other Thunderbolts do we have? I can't think of any.
well, so that team actually very specifically, and we have pretty much all of them outside of Agent Venom and Red Hulk.
Hulk.
So that
Who
one
could-
had
who would be
Elektra
like
and
the
Punisher
leader?
and Ghost Rider and Deadpool. So we have all
Oh,
them.
okay. There've been a lot of groups of Thunderbolts over the years.
Yeah. Songbird would be super cool from some OG stuff or
I'd love to see
Radioactive Man.
OG Thunderbolts with the '90s look with Atlas and Mach.
Oh, so I
Whatever it's
never
called.
read those. I came in closer to Dark Reign, so
I read the first bit of the original Thunderbolts with like Citizen V and whatnot.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow.
Well, I would
Pretty
love
cool.
to have a card for like Citizen V's like alter ego, right? They should put him in the game.
He really should be. It's a missed opportunity so far.
Give it time. I mean, if we're doing deep cuts, like frankly, the Winter Guard, like I don't think anything's off the table except for Fantastic Four until year 4.
You know,
seems like it.
When I think of
Chuck's
all the
call might be right there.
yeah, I think very legitimately, like when I think of the big characters that need to come out before the Fantastic Four, it's MODOK, Arnim Zola,
Cassandra Nova.
and that's the thing that I absolutely adore about this game. Are there's just those absolute wild cards, and I super dig Arnim Zola. I'm really excited to see the mods very specifically that people do and how they paint him up and what other things they put on there. I'm expecting
I'm
like
terrified to paint that television face.
right. Yeah, I'm super
Yeah.
curious how that is going to function. If that's going to be recessed or how that's going to work.
Yeah, they confirmed like
Oh,
on
they
a
did.
stream or something that it's a sculpted face in there and it has the clear panel you put on top
Oh,
of
cool.
it. Just like I made my call a while ago.
That'd be cool.
I still want to see people put a Krang brain in there
Yes.
or like a monochrome like old black and green computer monitor.
Like from Civil War.
Yeah.
Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, that too. I was just thinking one with just text on it, or the orange black, or the like off air the like rainbow broadcasting thing with the black bar at the bottom.
Make it look like a Game Boy screen that's like green and a different green.
Oh yeah.
Just
all
like
these
it,
things.
really small letters under it, like color.
You know what? One thing I forgot to start the episode with that I always start the episode with unless I forget was games played and hobby thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Nate, have you hobbied at all this week? Or since
Hobby. I what kind of hobbying are we talking about? If it's
like-
the painting kind, I am sorely guilty of only painting terrain in the past month.
Well, no, I mean yeah.
That counts for sure.
Putting together, assembling, doing anything to
Good on you to actually paint terrain. That sucks.
yeah. To
Part of the unfortunate pleasures of hosting Nashcon.
so
We appreciate your sacrifice.
yeah, for real. So what have you been painting the most or assembling terrain wise for Nashcon?
So everything at this point is at least assembled. I've gone through, like, I think it's a total of 12 size 3 buildings, like the little Daily Bugle things, except I
Yeah.
also have some, I don't know if you guys have seen them, but basically Corvus Terrain, who makes a lot of the really cool 3D files that you can print and all that kind of stuff, came out with basically some destroyed size 3 Daily Bugle size buildings.
Oh.
That sounds cool.
Which is really cool. And then I spliced those files with another file I have of a Sentinel. And so, like, I have a Sentinel hand through a window or a Sentinel
nice.
head in there and stuff. So that's what I'm pretty excited to see to fully come to life. But I've got like 14 cars, 6 garbage bins on my table. So
Nice. Got it
Is
right
it-
there.
Is that kind of the key to success? They're just keeping some of that stuff around you kind of at all times. So while you're doing other things, you can kind of just get some done.
it is a known presence. If like it's like cool, I've got an evening to myself, throw up YouTube or Hulu or whatever else,
Yeah.
and kind of have something to listen to, paint, and so on.
I have 2.5 minutes until this hot pocket is done. I can at least get a coat on the
A little bit more done.
what's the bulldog symbol on all the trash stuff, the cleanup
Damage control.
Damage control, yeah. I can get a couple damage control things done. Sweet Biscuits in chat said as far as Arnim Zola conversions to do Quaid from Total Recall out of the chest of Arnim Zola, that would be awesome. That would require a lot of green stuff, but Dan, how about
bit.
you?
I've actually been doing a lot of hobby. I'm
Okay.
a teacher, so I'm on summer vacation. So
Oh,
like,
did you take today off?
I did not have to work today,
That's super
which was
cool.
good. But yeah, I've been doing a bunch. I've been painting a bunch of Legion stuff. Played my first like real game of Legion yesterday.
Oh, heck yeah.
It was awesome.
How'd it go?
It went great. It had a great time. Our buddy Logan, locally, who's been on one network thing.
Yeah.
But he's a great opponent. And it went really well. He hates my Wookiees, which was awesome because he underestimated them. and
Yeah.
then punch Darth Maul into the ground.
Kind of red.
But I painted up a legion, or not a whole legion, a unit of clone troopers in like Kashyyyk green camo.
Mhm.
The Wookiee planet people don't know, because I want to make it like half of my force is going to be the 501st that have like the blue markings that were like Anakin and Ahsoka's group. And
That's the tattoo you have, right? Or we're gonna get the
Nope,
first.
definitely not.
Oh, okay.
And then the other part of my force is going to be like Kashyyyk themed with Chewbacca and Wookiees and Yoda and whatnot,
Rad.
which is super fun. But yeah, it was great. I like that game a lot. I can't wait to see what AMG does with it, and just hope Ahsoka is my Iceman for that game. Like maybe someday we'll get Ahsoka.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not the only one that's like, where's Ahsoka in this game?
Super odd that they put Cassandra Nova in Legion also before Ahsoka.
We have Agent Callus from Rebels that nobody cares about. We don't have Ahsoka, who's a beloved character. But I also just finished up Supergiant today, which I'm super excited for to try out because she's weird.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. So, like, Dan messaged me earlier in a group chat today and was like, "Hey, I'm going to be putting together Scourge and Heimdall for Monday if you want to use them." And I was like, "Are you sure? Yeah, I would love to."
Yeah, I figured I'd give you first refusal. I'll have them done for Monday for sure.
But if you have now Black Swan and Supergiant done, I was like, well, Taylor just finished my Supergiant on the Hobby Hangout on Wednesday here on the Twitch. Or maybe that was before I wasn't there and I was accosted heavily.
Yeah, we got
for
yelled at a
not
lot
being there.
I was watching it on demand, the VOD for it while I was painting Supergiant, and we got called out a bunch of times for forgetting.
Yeah. But so I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll play Black Order. But if you finished your Supergiant as well, then you'll get to try something new, cool.
Well, either way, one of us will play Black Order, and one of us will use Heimdall and Scourge.
Yeah.
Or a little bit of both. And we'll get that figured out for Monday, because I'm fine either way.
Nate, have you gotten a chance to have new Asgardians or the new Black Order on the table yet?
Not the. I have tried out the Black Swan with the Power Gem, and having a real fun time with that.
It's did you run it with Black Order? Or did you splash her into something else to just be a beat stick?
I splashed her with Cabal, and then I ran her with Corvus's new leadership.
Nice. I like Black Swan a lot. She did work for me in that when I played
She's
her
kind of gross.
a while ago.
Yeah, I'm
2
just
weeks ago.
thinking about that with Cabal. So she, on all of her follow-up attacks and stuff, she was getting energy from power from each one of them, right? Even if they're not generators.
Ooh.
Oh, wow, I like that a lot. Huh. Yeah, that seems awesome. I really dig that.
Yeah, I liked her. I'm skeptical about Supergiant just because she's like the weirdest piece out there. Like she's one of the most unique characters with what she does with like ethereal and her spender not doing damage.
Yeah.
Like she's odd.
I will say I played a game recently against the Supergiant, and the tactics card that I forget what it's called, and I'm very thankful Nate is here because I'm sure he'll know it right away. But there's a card where
Pressure's on.
you
Well
play
laid
it.
plans.
No, not the psychic shockwave thing. There's a different one. This is older. Didn't come in their box.
Oh, Price of Failure? No, that's not it.
It's
Blood Despair. That's it.
I'll explain the card. Maybe it's one of those. It's where you would be dazed. You get an attack off first, and if you get healed, was that the one?
Yeah, Blood Despair for that
Blood
one.
Despair. Yeah, works real good on her because her builder heals her. If she.
Oh, the Black Order actually have a way to heal themselves. That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
They said the whole time they've been like, this card is like it's for future proofing. It's for just in case down the line. That's right. She has if she does damage with her builder, she regains 1. Same as Omega Red.
Yes.
That's right. So Blood Despair is great on her.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
There's a card I'm taking.
Especially when you kind of got to go out of your way to take her down anyway, and then she does that, and you're like, well, but you don't understand. I only needed to do 1 damage, and I did it. But now I need to do another one again.
That sounds like one of our games, yeah.
Yep.
Ah, shucks.
Shuckle my butters.
You know what? I think she would be an absolute blast character to play in the separation anxiety.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for
who knows
only
what she could
three.
get up to?
Oh yeah, though I mean those are really the characters I feel like that shine in that when they get some
Uh
random
huh.
ability and now they have invulnerability and a nerd to pain on something like that, and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do here? It doesn't matter how I do the damage; it just always does one. But yeah, so as far as some of the releases that you haven't been able to check out yet with the new Asgardians and Black Order, are there any that you're excited to make use of? Like, who's the one? Do you need to see Heimdall on the table in splashed and everything like everyone else does? Because
No, I don't think he needs to be. I think there are like two, maybe three places that he needs to see play.
okay,
Oh.
and where's that?
So
Steve
Avengers,
Rogers Avengers.
because like, that's the one. Like, if that's not your first go-to reaction, you're wrong. Just
Yeah,
do it and have fun. Uh, Rerolls for one, yes please. Movement for one, yes please. Like, just all the things you want.
yeah,
Dark Dimension, because he's a character that should never
hmm,
be hitting that max of 6 power, and he always wants more power.
Mm.
Plus, helping Dormammu move up on that
yeah.
large base turn one is solid.
Right, because
That's a
there's no size limit to his or Darkstar's.
That's
Hmm.
yeah, Nate. That's the way you worded that too is actually very important. So I had never considered as far as making Dark Dimension rosters, bringing characters that should never have more than 6 power. Not that well, I want to use this. I want them to have power, but like I'm using this every round. I'm using these things constantly. They're always
Hmm.
under that level because if
Mm.
I have it, it's already been used.
And a 3 is good for Dark Dimension
Yeah.
with
Oh,
how
for sure.
expensive Dormammu is.
Yeah. I mean
Yeah.
that's the Dark Dimension list. Twos and threes.
Yeah.
Bodies, bodies, bodies.
I can't wait to get Scourge on the table just because I want to roll that 6 die builder on a
Yeah.
3 threat. Like, it was a big deal when Gamora had a 6 die builder
Hmm.
for a 4 threat. And Scourge is like, oh, hold my beer. Hold my axe.
And there's this really cool card called Doom Prophecy,
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep.
because he's got 4 physical defense.
Sounds like a 10 strength builder to me,
Yeah, Scourge
Yeah,
likes that one a lot.
but you're only going to get 1 power from it.
that's okay. They're dead anyway.
Yeah.
He doesn't need the power after that. He already chopped him down.
Yeah. Like a cherry tree. That's why he can't lie. A lot of people don't know that. They didn't include it on any of his tactic cards, but Scourge can't lie. Also has wooden teeth. They're wooden goat or sheep teeth
Good
made from wooden sheep. But,
Wow.
but
That was the fastest backtrack I've ever heard.
yeah, a little bit.
It's a true
Listen,
story you can find on the internet.
when Heimdall's on your team, he can help you backtrack as much as you want.
Fair.
But once again, everybody, there are only potentially still 5. There might be less now. Tickets for Nashcon left. That is the link I just posted in there. It's in the show notes too if you're listening to the podcast version. Get those tickets. I'm going to be there. Nate's going to be there. Some handful of people in chat are going to be there.
Awesome. I'm excited for that. For those who I guess are listening and don't know, it's going to be in August, the 19th through the 21st, I believe, that weekend at least. And it'll be a really good time. They just recently opened up some more hotel rooms for that have like the cheaper costs and stuff, which is really nice. You can come and get some authentic Nashville hot chicken, which is something that bothers me on a personal level, because like everywhere, even when we were in Chicago at Adepticon, like everyone was like, "Oh yeah, you can have some Nashville hot chicken." I'm like, it's just hot chicken, guys. Like,
It's not Nashville
why
hot.
you got to
Not
throw
Nashville.
Nashville in front of there?
You don't understand. Like, it's not available here. And I want it so badly. And whenever places just like throw out some Nashville hot chicken thing, I'm like, well, I got to try it. And then I never get there during its like special edition release. And then I'm mad about it, or they don't have it, or they're out of it. Just,
Dude, I'm gonna take you to Party Foul, and you're gonna love it.
Is it party foul like a bird?
Yeah,
I want to go now.
no, like a
it's not
party.
too late. 5 tickets left.
Oh no.
You better get over there right now.
I just want to go to a place called Party Foul with a pun like that.
For real. Nate, also, I hear because I'm there listening to it and watching them all the time, that you have a podcast and a YouTube channel as well. Where's the best place for
Yeah.
people to check out them things?
Yeah, so on YouTube, you can just, I guess, type in the Gamers Guild, Marvel Crisis Protocol. One of those two things should probably pull up a video somewhere. But yeah, I've got a nice little YouTube channel that has a lot of content, battle reports, character reviews, and just kind of some general advice from time to time on Marvel Crisis Protocol.
I'll
Uh,
I'll say too, one of the things that I absolutely adored from your channel, and I've talked about it a lot on this show, but the Oops All Rapid Fire and
Oh
Rerolls
my god,
list.
you loved that
Oh
so
my,
much.
it's still great.
It was
too.
a great idea.
I considered bringing that to Nashcon up until the Power Bottom 10 just got reworked to be able to play X Force, but it's a very 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 fun, reliable list that I really enjoy. So if you're looking for some of that stuff, the Gamers Guild YouTube is certainly the place for it.
well, thank you. I think that list ended up being a lot more competitive than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Because now I see like a ton of people taking Shadowland Daredevil for the TTS and stuff, and I'm just kind of like, oh, this wasn't jank.
No. No, surprisingly lethal. Anything.
Accidental
very
tactics.
good.
And your podcast as well. You've had a whole bunch of guests on there too. I really enjoyed the roster building that you did with Sarah Rowan and
Yeah.
that your compatriot there did with Dallas.
Yeah, no, had some wonderful guests, other content creators who claim specialization in certain affiliations. Because, like, honestly, like I don't have time to devote to every affiliation. Like there are two or three at this point that I enjoy, I know, and kind of their ins and outs. But some of the other ones that we just don't know. So it's great to have so many knowledgeable community members who are able to come on and talk, but also just in my opinion, a great crew of guys. I'm biased though, since I'm part of that crew, I guess. But yeah, that's I guess you just search the Gamers Guild on your podcast platform of choice, and hopefully we're on there. And if not, let me know and I can get it on there.
And there will be links, like I said, down in the YouTube video when this gets over there, as well as in the podcast show notes as well. Super quick shout out as well to Fury's Finest. We had Dylan on this past week for Oh Yeah, the Power Phase. He came in full President Loki attire.
It was amazing.
It was
Gosh.
awesome. Awesome.
He even had stickers in his pocket. He was handing out Vote Loki.
I dressed up as Kingpin, which is why my face looks really stupid.
Yeah, you need to grow that beard back.
I do. I'm working on it. Consider it in progress. So I was moving characters around with Kingpin King. I didn't break any of them. No models got broken.
That was honestly way funnier than it had any right to be.
It was a lot more fun than it had any right to be, too. Trying to move Scarlet Witch, who has so many extra effects on there, and not trying to knock her over, but also surprisingly well balanced to get back upright when I knocked her down by accident. But as always, please make sure to check out all of the Marvel Crisis Protocol streams that we do here on the Twitch Monday for Oh Yeah, the Power Phase. Dan and I will be playing this next Monday, some Asgard versus some Black Order, I believe.
Probably.
Wednesdays, Taylor, now considered untactical. Please don't forget about him every Wednesday night.
Especially his birthday week.
Correct, especially his birthday week, where he does some MCP hobbying stuff, whether it's terrain or some of the newer models that comes out, or building out his own personal collection. Make sure to get through some of your back sprue log by joining him Wednesday nights and hobbying for a little bit. Obviously, right here every Thursday for Wait, Did I Roll a Wild? And check out professionalcasual.com. There is a ton of content there if you're looking for actual play RPGs, Marvel Crisis Protocol, blogs. It's got it all. It's even got Elite 8 Showdown for a little bit. But lastly, one thing I'd just like you to know about the Patreon, patreon.com/professionalcasual. You'll get access to the Discord there. That helps us provide all of this content and be able to provide coverage at these conventions as well. It really helps us out. Would really appreciate your support there. Also, join the Discord. A Twitch sub or at any level of the Patreon, you get access to the Discord, and it's a great place to be. If you want to be overwhelmed by the amount of channels and people constantly talking, that is the place to be.
Good problem to have, though.
It is.
It really is.
One of the benefits of having an international audience is that there's always a lot of people awake. But guys, thank you so much. Nate, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you all Monday and at Nashcon. I love you. Buy those tickets. They're almost gone. They probably are. You better get there now.